Hey YouTube fans, Eric here in the garden, getting ready to do some mulching. I want to do a part 1 and part 2 on that. First, I'm going to talk about the different types of mulch you can put down. I'll show you a before of what our garden looks like, and then when we get all this done, then we'll do an after and show you how everything looks. So as we're getting ready to put down the mulch, this is one of the first times I've ever had a delivery of anything to the yard. I think I got topsoil in the past, but I don't have a pickup truck and it's always been too expensive. I just didn't want to put all that money into it. So this year, decided to spend some money, and we got this cypress mulch, 7 cubic yards, so quite a bit of mulch to put down. That will be for the rose gardens. And then pine straw is what we typically do here in the South. I used that last year in the rose gardens. This year I'm just going to do that in the front lawn. So first I'm going to talk about the different types of mulch, then I'm going to give you a before tour of the yard, and then we'll do an after one where we're done here probably in a couple days. It's going to take a while to remove this, or to put this mulch down. So prior to me doing this type of mulch, the cypress mulch, I traditionally just did pine straw, and you can see this in my bed in the front. You can still see there is some pine straw. One tip before you do any mulching, try to either pull up those weeds or kill them. So I shot them with Roundup a couple days ago. So you can see I still have a nice base of pine straw. So in the front yard, all I'm going to do is freshen that up, and I won't need quite as much since I already put some down last year. So this shouldn't take too long. Same thing along the side garden here. Some of this actually blew away. We get some gusty winds here living close to the ocean, and it kind of funnels around this end of the house. So some of it blew away. Over here, you can still see there's that ring of fire. That just really captures your eye. That's a beautiful newer variety of hybrid teas. But you can still see I have some pine straw left. So the front yard shouldn't take long. I chose pine straw. Since it's a product that's found here in the South, it's fairly cheap. I got it for under $5 a bale, and it's not too bad at all. Over here you can see what was left of the pruning. We do not have city pickup of yard waste each week. It's in a couple more weeks, so I don't want to compost that, and I don't want it near the garden, so I just have it sitting there kind of in a spot of the yard that has a lot of weeds anyway. So this is the other part of the garden that I will be using pine straw in. We have a couple of those Encore azaleas. I'm looking forward to those. They're supposed to bloom throughout the year. And then we have Dublin Bay here, a climbing rose. So this is not a huge rose garden. It's a big area, so I didn't want to spend a lot of money on mulch. So we'll do pine straw again, and you can see there's already pine straw down. So this is just pretty much freshening it up. I did shoot some of these weeds the other day with Roundup. Either I missed some, or some are just, you can see that one definitely got hit. But either I missed that one or that one. Whatever the case, I'm going to do another, I'm going to shoot a couple more of them before I put this mulch down. So the theory is all those weeds will be dead, and then probably do another thing, a pre-emergent here in a couple more weeks. So that's the pine straw area. This is what's going to be really different. The rose garden. I've done everything. Comment below, what mulches have you used? I've used grass clippings. I've used free wood chips from the local municipality. Sometimes I've used just compost. That's what you see here. In my previous video, I talked about top dressing the gardens. So I'm not using it as a mulch in this case, but you can use compost. I've certainly done that. I've pretty much used whatever was free or cheap. So again, this compost, it covered up 3 or 4 beds, and it was only $3. So again, something cheap. I've used wood chips in the past. I have gotten cypress mulch or cedar mulch. I usually go for the non-colored mulch, and I've gotten it in the bag form from, say, Walmart or Lowe's. No issues with that. That's usually the cheapest way you can get it. Usually, if the bags are 4 for $10, or kind of in that $2.50 to just under $3 price range, you can get a cubic yard for $30 to $34. Not too bad. That's usually the cheapest you're going to get. However, I have a small car or van, so I would have to take 7 trips to the store to get the amount that I had delivered. The delivery fee was waived this year, and it was $40 a cubic yard. So for a little bit more, certainly was worth the effort. So again, I've used a lot of different things. I'm really excited this year because these gardens are going to look great. I'm kind of giving you the before, and you can see the after here probably in a couple days. In the rose beds last year, I did use pine straw. Some of it has broken down. You can see some bare spots. Either it's blown away or it's just broken down. So I'll put that cypress mulch on top. Since I'm not starting from square one, since I already have some pine straw, it's not going to be as hard to cover it. And the pre-emergence is working really well. You can see these beds for the most part are weed free. Wherever I had a couple weeds, I just shot them with Roundup a little bit, and they're in the process of dying. I will hit them again before I put this mulch down, and we'll be good to go. Here's the last bed that's been in the garden, only 4 roses now. You can see that darker material. That's the compost I put down a couple days ago. So one last look. The next video I do, hopefully this will be done. I think it's going to take a while. 7 cubic yards is a lot of mulch, and 8 bales of pine straw for, again, that climbing rose garden in the back and the front yard. Things are looking good. You can see the roses are really, they've been leafed out since January, but that was kind of fool's gold. They weren't, doing too much. They were leafing out but not growing. Well, now they're really growing and taking off. You can see, we mentioned this before, for new rose growers, those darker green leaves are more mature leaves, and these purple leaves, sometimes people are worried because they're such a different color. Don't worry, that's what you want to see. This is new growth. They're immature leaves, and they're going to develop into those darker shades of green with time. So that's it in the garden. Next time you see this, hopefully this will all be mulched in. I'll let you know how long it takes. 7 cubic yards. I've got younger kids that help a little bit, but it'll mainly be me. So this might take a couple days. The weather here in the 60s today, near 80 over the weekend. So that will be good weather for doing that. And I've got a couple days off, so I'm going to try to knock this out. Comment below, what do you use to mulch? I've used compost, wood chips, grass clippings, manure. I've used bag mulch, just about everything you can think of. And this year I spent the big bucks, and I'm gonna do it the right way, get it delivered and put it down all at once. It should be looking good. Have a great day. I hope everybody's staying healthy. Remember to get out in your garden. That is one activity that you can continue to do. And as we know, rose growing takes a lot. So I'm sure there's a lot of chores that you can be doing in your yard as we start to warm up here in the spring. Have a good one, everybody.